welcome back again, and today I'm working on this 2003 Lincoln Navigator. Now this procedure is probably gonna be about 99% the same way to do it on a Ford Expedition with a 4.6 or a 5.4, maybe even F-150s 4.6s and 5.4s. But basically all I'm gonna do is replace the alternator. So I'm gonna take off this engine cover here. Now, you know, Expeditions and trucks are not gonna have it, but I'm gonna start off taking this one right here, and it's gonna be two 8mm bolts. I'm gonna pull those two out and take off the Now that I have the cover out of the way, I gotta take off the intake hose, the one that goes from the throttle body to the mass airflow sensor. It's gonna have a flathead screw right here that I need to undo so I can do this clamp here, and I'm gonna undo it from this clamp as well. I'm gonna take off this connector here, and it's just pressed right here on the top and pull it out, and this hose here, just pull it out also. So I'm gonna undo this one and I'm gonna pull it straight up and then pull it from there so I can get some more access to the alternator. Right, and now that I got that out of the way, also make sure you guys disconnect your negative cable on your battery. Alternator is gonna be down there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, you can see it from right there. So what I'm gonna do now is, that's a serpentine tensioner right there, this one right here. So I'm going to connect a 1/2" ratchet right there, and basically I'm going to push it down like this. That way I can let the tension loose from the serpentine belt and remove the serpentine belt from the alternator itself. So I can gain better room, I'm going to remove this upper radiator hose. Now you guys just make sure that the car is not hot or anything like that, that way you guys don't get burnt. But that is my next step, so I can gain some more room. So I'm gonna take off this upper radiator hose and take off the serpentine belt. Here we go, took off the hose that goes right here. So as you can see, the alternator is down there. I'm not gonna have enough room to wiggle it out. Usually on the F-150s and Expeditions, they don't have this water inlet right here. This is where the thermostat goes. They don't have this. So usually you're able to just unbolt it and pull it straight out. But since I have this on this Navigator, I'm gonna have to take off the fan clutch and the fan shroud right there. Fan clutch, let me see if you guys can see it. It's right there. Get this thing to focus. That's it. So you gotta, what I would recommend, if you don't have the right tools, put your serpentine back on, the serpentine belt, and then twist that big old nut that you can see, this one right there, that one, twist it counterclockwise, like if it was a regular bolt. And once you twist it counterclockwise, the fan clutch should come out. Once it's loose and just wiggling here, then you're gonna come and take off the fan shroud and pull the fan shroud and fan clutch with one swoop, because you're not going to be able to pull out the fan clutch by itself without the fan shroud. And just in case you're wondering, the tool, I do have the tool to remove it. This is it right here. It's gear wrench. That way you can remove any fan clutch or anything like that, and that's the part number just in case you ever need one. But let me take it off and I'll show you when I'm pulling it out what I mean by you need to take it out, fan shroud and fan clutch all together. So here we go. I got it off with my special tool. Here it is, all loosened up here. Also, I'm gonna take off the rod for the gas pedal. It has two 10mm bolts here. I already did this. This clip right here, you're just gonna push it that way and it's gonna come out. And this one here, you're just gonna walk it across and you'll see the little latch where you're just gonna pull it out. Then I'm gonna move this out of the way, take off the two 8mm bolts that go here, and I'm gonna put it all together with the fan shroud. Here it is, fan shroud is loose, and as you can see, the fan clutch is right there. So now I'm gonna grab it with both hands, one hand on the fan shroud and the other hand on the fan clutch, and pull them all out in one piece. Just be really careful not to damage your radiator. But that is it. Let me pull it out and then we'll get to the alternator. Here it is, fan shroud and fan clutch out of the vehicle. As you can see, there is no wiggle room, so you need to put them all out at once. Now that I have it out here, I'm going to go ahead and replace this fan clutch, since it's, look, you see, it's a bad fan clutch as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace it right there. I took off the 4 bolts right there. Take this one off, put the new one on, and bolt it back on. Make sure you put this facing the same way. If not, the fan clutch, the fan is gonna run backwards. It's not gonna suck in air through the radiator, and you're gonna have a whole bunch of issues. So just make sure you put it back on. If you're gonna do this, put it back on the way it was. And now, after this, move on to the alternator. Alternator right here. I have 2 10mm bolts down here. These ones do not have to come all the way off. Actually, yeah, they do, because there is no room up here. Usually you just loosen them up and the alternator pulls straight out, but since there is no room, I have to pull the alternator towards me. So I'm gonna take off these 2, and then it has on this bracket 4 10mm bolts, one here, one over there, one up here, and there's another one on the alternator. No need to remove the ones on the actual alternator, just the ones holding on each corner, and then pull it out. And then once it's out here, I'm gonna do the connector. There should be a connector, just basically with a push pin, kind of like this, just push in and pull it out. And the other one should be like a 10mm nut, but I'll show you guys once I have it. Here we go, guys. Took the alternator off. Like I said, just took off the 2 10mm bolts that were holding this bracket, and the 2 on the bottom. This is the new one right here. You see what I mean by it has slots where usually you just pull it straight up, but damn it, boy, move. But you don't have, there's no room to pull it straight up. So what you gotta do is you gotta pull it towards you. So now all I'm gonna do is remove this bracket, put it here. This is the 10mm nut that I was telling you about that goes to the battery, and this is the other connector that is gonna go, I think, to the computer or something like that. That is it. Now I gotta work my way back. Like I said, put that one in there, put it back in there. Since I have all this room, after I put the alternator, I'm actually gonna put the serpentine back on, the serpentine belt. So I'm gonna, get it up there, connect it, get it bolted onto place, and put the serpentine belt back on. But that is it, guys. That's pretty much how that's how you replace the alternator on this 03 Navigator. And the procedure is almost the same on Expeditions F-150s with a 5.4 and 4.6 liter engine. So there you go, guys. I really hope this video helps somebody out. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll catch you guys on my next video. Thank you for watching.